Hey guys, my name is That Quiet Kid, and today I'm going to show you an Active Directory attack vector called WebClient Workstation Takeover. So in this attack vector, we basically, if a workstation has WebDev enabled, WebDev is basically a extension which allows to edit and modify like servers, files on a server. So if a workstation has WebDev enabled, we can basically get local admin access on that system. I will explain to you how we can like obtain local admin access. So if it has WebDev enabled, we can try to use NTLM relay, responder, and petitpotam. Responder for capturing the authentication, NTLM relay to like relay the captured credentials and authenticate to the domain controller using ldaps, and we are triggering the authentication using petitpotam. So Microsoft has a bug. I think it's MSEF RPC remote procedure protocol, open file raw. These are like 5 6 bugs in like uh, Windows, which we can use to authenticate the like machine account. And using that machine account, we will authenticate to the domain controller. We will we will use that to create a user with RBCD on the host with WebDAV enabled. RBCD is resource based constraint delegation. If we have resource based constraint delegation, then we can impersonate any user any user on that workstation. So we can basically impersonate a domain admin on that workstation, not on the whole domain, but on that workstation. And domain admins by default are local admins on that system. So basically we can dump the SAM, which is like the local hashes on the system, and LSA. LSA is basically, let's say you have a domain admin and he logged into your system. His credentials could be cached inside a process called LSAS, and dash dash LSA is a flag in crackmap exec using which we can dump this process and obtain clear text credentials if we are lucky. So basically, this attack vector is used for lateral movement inside the network. Like if you have a local admin, most of the times inside a domain, administrators set the same local admin passwords on multiple workstations. So basically, if we have one local admin and we spray it, we can get like access to many other systems. So, but in my network, I have like 2 3 systems only. So uh, in our case I have like same local admin same local admin password on both like on both the domain controllers. So I will show you how to perform this attack. So first of all, we need to start with modifying the responder.config. Turn off smb because we don't want to capture and store it, we want to relay it. So for that we need to turn them off, http and smb, turn them off. Run the responder dash I is interface, I think it's 80. Okay, so now it's running. Open another tab, and we're going to force authentication using a tool called petitpotam. I think it's Python. We can run it using Python petitpotam.py dash u for user, which is reze. It's a normal domain user, no high privilege user. Bomb devil, and what's the name of the machine? Responder. This is like our server at the rate 80, and any file test, and the IP which we are targeting in our case, which is 192.168.170. Now let me check if WebDev is enabled on the system or not. For that we can use crackmap exec smb. The IP username is reze and password was bomb devil. It's a module in crackmap exec called WebDev which will tell us if WebDev is enabled or not. So as you can see, web client service enabled on this system. Okay, we have confirmed, and you can see this is not a high privilege user. Like if it was a high privilege user, you would see like pond after this. Like if it was a user with DC sync rights, if it was a local admin user, if it was a domain admin user, you would see pond after this. So as you can see, reze is a normal user. So now what we need to do is we have set up petitpotam, we have set up responder. Now we need to relate. For that we will use impacket-ntlmrelayx, and the target will be like the domain controller, which is dc1.berserk.local dash dash delegate access to create a user with RBCD, and SMB to support in case SMB version 1 is set to false. Click on enter, click on enter, and connecting to this, bind to this, successfully bound, sending this open access denied. Okay, using unpatched function. This is using EFS RPC, remote procedure call encrypt file server. Got expected error exception, but it says attack worked. So we were successful in forcing the machine account to authenticate. Now let's see if we have captured the credentials. Yes, you can see connection coming from this machine control, attacking the ldaps domain controller, using ldaps domain controller DC1. We have successfully created a user. Delegation rights modified successfully. Now we have like delegation rights like RBCD on this host. Now I will show you how to exploit this further. So I have a Windows system on which I will use Rubeus to get the hash for this user. Okay, so let's run Rubeus hash slash domain is, okay, I forgot to put the space. Hash domain is berserk.local slash user. I need to copy. Where is it? And slash password is pretty weird password. Okay, so press enter to get the hash. We are going to be using AES 256 hash, this one. Now we will try to get the ticket. We are basically going to impersonate a user. Now I said with RBCD we can impersonate any user, even domain admins, on that workstation, not on the whole domain, on that particular workstation. And domain admins by default are local admins on the system as well. Okay, so let's clear the screen. Let's run Rubeus, and we need to service to user su4 slash user is okay, we can put the user after some time. First let's paste the copied hash. Okay, and we are going to impersonate user. Let's impersonate guts, and we need to specify the service principal name. I'm using host slash the name of that system is dc2.berserk.local, and alternate service, if this doesn't work, alternate service to impersonate is CIFS, which is file system. So no wrap, so that it doesn't wrap our like output and gives us the whole output. Pass the ticket to get the ticket in our current session. Need to just specify the user and run the command, and we have successfully got the ticket, like ticket for that guts user. What was the username? This one. Let me copy it and paste it here. Press enter. We have successfully got the ticket. copy this ticket. Okay, let me do it again. We have successfully imported this ticket. Now we need to convert this base64 ticket to a cache ticket so that we can use it in Kali Linux. For that, do echo paste the base64 ticket, and it's base64 dash decode, I think, to ticket dot curb kirby. Let's do this. Okay, we have this. Now we have this ticket. We need to convert it into a cache ticket, so we can do that using impacket ticketer. It's it's ticket converter. The ticket is ticket dot kirby, and let's name it guts dot cache. Looks good. It's done. Kirby to cache ticket successfully converted. Now we can use crack map exact to see, is this valid? SMB 192.168.0.170 dash dash use cache. I think if we are using a Kerberos ticket, we need to specify dash dash use dash cache. Press enter. Okay, invalid syntax. Okay, I forgot one thing. We need to export the ticket as well using this. It was guts dot cache. Now run the command. Okay, as you can see, pond. We have successfully impersonated the guts domain admin user on that particular workstation which has webdev enabled. Now we can dump LSA and SAM. LSA, if we are lucky, we will get the clear text credentials. Okay, we are not so lucky. We didn't get clear text credentials of any domain admins user. We can dump the SAM now, which is for like stores local hashes. Okay, so okay, we have this administrator user. So let's try to see. In some cases, it could be that like we have a domain user with the same, like, who has the same password for like local and domain account as well. So we can validate, like, check this. Crack map exec smb 192.168.1.160, which is my main domain controller, like primary domain controller, dash u administrator dash hash and see. So this is a very like rare case. It doesn't happen much. Like if you have a local account and that is the same, has the same password for a domain admin administrator, this is a very rare case. Like I did it in my lab, but this usually doesn't happen. What you usually do is, after dumping the SAM, you will get this administrative user, and you will use like dash dash local auth to spray it across your domain to check how many systems have the same local admin password. In this case, this is a domain user, like the domain and the local have same password in my case, but that usually doesn't happen. Now, like for proof of concept, uh, from my lab's perspective, like we have the same, like we have got the administrator hash same, so we can create add a domain admin user. So for that, we can use X is for CMD, capital X is for if you're using PowerShell. Net user, let's create a user called, let me think, Makima, and let's call the password be control devil slash add slash domain. This looks okay. Command successfully. Now let's add Makima to domain admins group. Net group. Okay, domain admins Makima slash add. Command successfully completed. Now let's check the domain admins group and see if we have successfully added Makima to domain admins. Yes, you can see group name, domain admins, and if you have domain admin access, you can basically do anything in the system. So Makima, we have successfully added Makima user to the domain admins group. So that's it for this video, and thank you for watching.